It's time to get locked in, ladies and gentlemen, because you are now tuned into the Screaming Idiots Show. Welcome to the Metal Brotherhood.
No discipline for the wicked. No medicine.
Hey, yo. What up, everybody? God, that was lame as fuck. That was horrible. I needed you to have bailed me out right there with something cool when you didn't.
I ain't got shit.
Yeah, no, that's okay. What up, everybody? Welcome back to the Screaming Idiots Show. Glad to have everybody back in. Hope everybody's had a good week. Grab your popcorn, grab your cocks, and drop your socks. We're going to dive in. We got our good friend and longtime supporter of the show, Mr. Theron Eugene Thompson Jr. / the third on a technicality.
Mr. Thurn.
Thurn, as we call him down here.
Thurn is here.
What's going on, Theron? How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. Not much. Enjoyed a 2-hour drive down here. Enjoying some bourbon.
Yeah.
Hanging out with you guys. Haven't seen you guys since,
Been a while.
2020?
Well,
Muddy
Barnyard
Creek.
Bash, I think, was the last
I haven't
time.
been to the Barnyard Bash yet. I've been wanting to get down there. It's always on the weekend on work.
Was it Muddy Creek?
Muddy Creek Metal Fest, I think it was what it was.
That sounds
Fuck, it's
about
been that
right.
long?
Yeah, it's been that long.
Damn.
Bro, COVID fucked
Yeah,
up.
that was the show you guys went on after
including our
Monty.
perception of time.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
That
first
was-
off, thank you firstly for driving 2 hours one way
Yeah,
to
seriously.
come be on the show. So want to thank you for that. Secondly,
Yeah, no problem.
thank you for being such a longtime supporter of the show. I feel like you've been riding with us since late season 1, early season 2. So definitely appreciate that. The first question I'm going to ask you is, before we get into all the super fun personal opinion stuff, I want to ask you about Rowdy Roadies.
Okay.
That's kind of your gig. I asked you a little bit about it before the show, but we always say save it for the pod, so I didn't want to grill you too much.
Gotcha.
Can you explain what Rowdy Roadies is, where it came from, like how that idea came to pass?
Oh, boy.
And yeah, we got all the time in the world, brother.
Yeah,
Take your
all
time.
night, baby.
Well, I think I should make it note first is, well, we've decided the Rowdy Roadies thing in general is coming to an end.
Okay. Hate to hear that.
But basically what it was is...
I think I seen a post on
yes,
that recently.
yes.
Okay.
When we went to the concert last week in Columbus, we ran into a lot of people we haven't seen. So everyone was asking about it. I'm still going to do the same thing. I'm still going to go on my way to go to shows. Still going to try to get people to go to shows. I'm just not going to... what's the word I'm looking for? Plan these events. 'Cause what we would do is, especially when we had our own venue in Findlay, or when we had some local bands traveling up to BG, Toledo, Michigan, we would try to basically make it affordable for everyone and try to get everyone rides, a place to stay, so we can go and have fun.
Yeah.
Usually we try to scope out a restaurant to go to before pregame,
Yep.
Yeah.
get some food in us. But over the years at that, and then we were doing our own merchandise. But the whole merchandise thing was to not only raise money for that, but take a few dollars back and help pay for like hotels and stuff. Try to make it cheaper for everyone, because even though I know a lot of people work, blue collar and whatnot, still can't afford. Like every time I hear someone say, "Hey, well, I saw you went to this show and that show," it'd be cool if I would went to that show. So I was like, okay, well, tell me what show you want to go to, and we'll make it work. So we spent a lot of money on trying to get that. And then when I finally got got in touch with the guys at Dread Engine, they introduced me to the Rock Out Camp Out, which reminded me of an event we had up our way from a group called Northwest Ohio Metal Militia. And they would do a summer concert nearby and would do a can drive. I was like, oh, that'd be really cool to get involved with that. So there for a few years, we did sponsor and help with donations for Rock Out Camp Out. But much of the sport we had has kind of gone away, so it's been all out of my pocket.
Yeah.
So being a homeowner and all that stuff.
Oh,
so
dude, in 2023, buddy.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we're still gonna try to see who's going to shows, try to meet up before, after, have a good time, make sure everyone's safe. That's another good part. But yeah, it was basically a lot of people saying they would love to go to shows and stuff, and
just
didn't have
helping out with
funds or didn't want to
logistics.
waste the gas. Like
Yeah.
it was just people coming up with excuses why they didn't want to.
Well,
It's like I'd go to that show, but I don't want to pay money for gas.
so you were like
Dude, I'll pay my gas. You just come along, buy your own ticket.
so you were like a support system for concert goers, but also you was just ripping the excuses out their mouth.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
love it.
But then I
Metal
just,
as
then I,
fuck, dude.
then I just found some people are just gonna flake. That's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those who want to come will come.
I'm gonna come.
All right.
Oh.
Just warn me when you do. Shoulder tap, buddy.
Tap me on the back.
Shoulder tap. And let me close my eyes.
It's so funny you say that because you haven't heard it yet because we literally just recorded it, but we
Oh,
were
shit.
discussing in the season 6 premiere it will be about
Jesus.
the show that we went to, and basically the name of the episode is going to end up being Buy the Damn Tickets.
Yeah.
You know, we all kind of have things going on in life, and it can be challenging at times to find not only the money but the time. And again, you're talking about excuses or reasons, whatever we want to call them, but going to a live show is an experience that cannot be replaced, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's so ironic that here you are a week after we record this episode
Nice.
talking about this, and you're like, yeah, we came up with this fucking entire entity
Yeah.
that does exactly that. So
Yeah.
no, that's cool.
Well, it also started too. We would go camping at a lot of these music festivals. We met people from West Virginia, Kentucky, Indiana, Michigan, and we would all hang out and we'd go to these music festivals. Shortly after that, how the name came about was a show nearby. It was at a place called the Nest in Fostoria, a band we love. We've seen many times, kind of became friends with, called Nonpoint.
Oh yeah, we've talked about.
They were headlining. They had some bands I've heard of that I hadn't seen yet.
Mm-hmm.
Coming to Little Fostoria. I mean, the venue's a nice size. It's just
Yeah.
at that time it was not. It was a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
Since then, people have bought it and remade it, but they're mostly doing like rap shows there now and country nights.
Lame.
So I haven't really got there yet. The C show.
Yeah, I don't think you're missing much.
No, they've had a few rock concerts, but it's always like when I
Rock
Take a
concerts.
yeah, it's like last year they had a show, but
I
I
took
was
a
in,
dig at that accent. My bad.
Hey, ours are just as bad, I would assume.
He said rock concert.
I was in a show in Colorado when they had a show there.
He leaned into it. I fucking love it.
I love it.
But
Oh,
we
Don't tell me you're a fucking Michigan fan.
no,
All right, we're cool.
I don't root for either Michigan or
You're
Ohio
allowed to
State.
keep sitting
That's
there.
fine. You can be.
I
as
usually
long as
try
you're-
to find the fan base that's easiest to piss off that year, and then just go lean into
Double,
it.
double.
That's him.
There it is.
That's
All
him.
right. But
Yeah,
after the
just
show,
real quick, just so you know, he tried to shit talk our Buckeyes, and his kid lost his championship game
Yeah.
right after.
So the Ohio football gods are vengeful.
all right, poor kid.
Fuck you if you like Michigan.
These two pieces of shit over here were rooting for my son's team to lose because I was
He also
talking
plays
shit.
for. He also plays for our rival school too. So there's two reasons to hope that they fucking lose.
But yeah, so after the show, I found out there's a bar and a strip club
Oh,
built next to it at that time.
Okay.
Well, we stayed over and hung out, and I was talking to Elias, and that was the year, I want to say it was 2014. It would have been the first year of Louder in Life.
okay.
And they had
Yeah.
just announced the lineup, and they were going to be the first band on the main stage on the first day. And I saw them,
Non-point. You
Yeah.
mean? Okay.
so I saw them like, hey, we're going to drive, the 4.5 hours down there. We're so excited. You're going to be the first band. We're going to try to make it there early. Don't want to miss it. And he's sitting there doing the calculation. He's like, that's like 4.5 fucking hours away.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, and? He's like, you guys going to travel that far to see our band? I'm like, well, there's other bands there too, bud, but yes, we want to see you guys there too. And he's like, that's some fucking like rowdy ass shit. We got a bunch of like roadies and groupies and shit. And then at the time, my dad was living with me, going after a divorce, and he kind of repeated it when I got home, so it kind of stuck. I sat on it for a couple years, and then we actually had a page where it was just all us people who would camp at festivals. Well, my Facebook account got hacked, all this shit, so that dropped, and I couldn't get it back. So I'm like, fuck it, let's do Rowdy Roadies. And at that time, my cousin Jesse, who you all have met, tall, blonde,
Yep.
scrawny looking dude, he
Yep.
came back from his time in the Marines, and so we kind of put that all together, and was a way to basically give us an excuse to go see shows and give other people not to use excuses to go see shows.
That's cool shit.
So that's kind of where it came from. That's where the name came from, and just kind of went along with it.
yeah.
Preston, you had something
pretty
you were
awesome.
gonna.
No, I was just curious, and you kind of jumped into it, but from the onset of starting something like that, was it connections or people you already knew that you enjoyed going to shows with, and then you just continued to meet people show after show after show?
Yeah. There was a lot of shows. We would meet new people and kind of bring them in, and then just keep contact with them. Like, hey, there's a show going on at Pine Knob up in Michigan. We got a hotel. We got a couple extra beds. You guys want to come on? You don't have to worry about paying for the hotel. Just buy your own ticket, bring your own money for drinks and food, and we'll have a good time. Don't have to worry about driving to and from the venue. I got you. I honestly don't drink all that much, even though people think I'm a raging alcoholic, but I'm not.
I'm just gonna drink
Well,
my
I
wine.
guess the first step is always denial, though, right?
You get
Yeah,
the
like I've heard
I'll
it.
drink it. You get alcoholic, my God.
I don't know if we can. I'll just pass it on. Here.
Yep, there it is.
You get the reputation without the
Tyler and I
hangover.
are drinking
Energy.
wine.
Sometimes.
Tyler and I are drinking wine like ladies.
And Thurn and I are
Hey,
drinking
hey.
Bullet.
There is
I don't
no
judge.
gender to delicious.
Oh, this is
Good,
fantastic.
sir.
Listen, it's not like it's something we drink very often, so this is a fantastic change.
Oh yeah.
It is a blueberry Moscato.
Really?
Tap that ass right there.
Oh yeah, wine drunk make you want to fuck.
That's an ass tapper right there.
Popped a perk 30.
All of a
got
sudden, I
straight
don't
to
feel safe
fucking.
anymore.
What's that?
But all of a sudden, I don't feel safe anymore.
You don't
I
feel
feel
safe
like
or
I'm the
your
little
butt
white
doesn't feel
girl on the
safe.
I don't
couch,
know.
and you're all going to be standing behind me.
See, what you didn't know is this is secretly the casting
Yeah,
couch.
it's
Ah, damn.
You
And
should
you're-
feel safe. Your butt, on the other hand. Okay.
All those years that we're watching Pornhub are going to finally come in handy, huh?
Comes full circle, bud.
About time. I've been waiting 37 years now?
Who hurt you? Yeah.
Been waiting for my time to shine.
So, you had told me before the show that your next show will be your 207th.
Yes, next week will be my 207th show that I can remember and count. I'm sure I've missed a few, so...
So, just for the listeners, I want you to put that into perspective. That is not number of bands he has seen. That is number of concerts that he has attended. 207. That is,
And that includes festivals.
Yeah, so as
but the festival is.
I only count the days of the festival, not every single band I see at the
Right.
festival or the festival as a whole.
Still.
It's each
So
day.
he goes and sees 20 bands in a day. That's one. Like the number of bands that you have seen has to just be
God.
in the thousands.
Probably, if I take the time to sit and count.
I mean,
Probably.
that's just insane to think about.
Fuck it. Who's your favorite?
See, you asked me earlier too, and I threw a brain fire. I mean, there's so many bands that I love, all for different reasonings.
had a brain fart.
As I was also telling Kyler, a lot of the bands I like, he's not a big fan of, but it's all good.
Yeah.
We had that conversation before the show.
He'll open up
all
to
good.
some things.
Oh, it's okay.
No, shut up.
But I mean, I grew up. My favorite band growing up was because I was concluded to it, and that would have been like AC/DC or Metallica and stuff. That's just what I grew up.
Because you
on.
grew up on it. Same here. I mean,
Motley
Yep.
Crue was another one I used to
yeah.
love.
Yep.
we loved hair
Huge on
metal.
Motley.
Loved hair metal.
Yes.
Dawkins was my favorite and Rat, but loved
Yep.
Molly.
Oh, my dad was huge in Rat.
My dad too.
Oh,
Yep.
loved
Yeah.
it.
Hair. I was born and bred with hair metal. That was like
Yep.
my parents' main squeeze.
But I went to a weird phase early in high school. I don't know what I was going through, but became very religious.
Okay.
So I liked a lot of different bands.
Like gospel music or just
Not
like
gospel, I was
like
just trying to
Christian
say-
rock.
So I wouldn't even go to Christian rock. I mean, there was a few I liked. I try to get into it, but then like someone would always lead me back to like a Korn, a Limp Bizkit, a AC/DC.
Led
They
you
always
back to
come
the
back.
promised
When did
land.
you graduate high school, Theron? If you don't mind me asking?
06.
So you were, I mean, hot and heavy new
Yeah.
metal.
But it's weird. I was
Dad
going through
rock.
this weird trying to listen to light rock and find some Christian rock that I liked. And then my dad was
Can
getting...
you take me higher?
I had many debates with friends that was not a Christian rock band.
Yeah.
Scott will tell you himself.
Yes, correct.
But my dad was going through a huge Eminem phase. So it was kind of odd, kind of awkward.
Okay. My dad went through a Nelly phase.
My dad never really got into
Oh,
Nelly.
my
He
dad
thought he
was
was a little
into
too
all
vulgar.
And
for
at
his,
that
like,
point, I'm
until
like,
they like telling like when Air Force One came out, and then he loved it.
Oh
but-
shit! I wore them every day.
Air Force
I've heard.
Ones. Yeah, dude, I'm looking at my dad. I'm like, we're riding around in a regular cab, long bed, 1986 Chevy Scottsdale. You got half a can of Copenhagen in your lip, and we're listening to Nelly.
Country
Mama,
Grammar
yeah,
was the shit.
yeah.
I
bro.
am confused, good sir. I loved it though. I mean, I
loved it too.
love early 2000s hip
What'd
hop.
you say? Delicious doesn't about the wine earlier.
Have a
Delicious
there's-
doesn't have a gender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
But
No.
anyway, you were saying about Eminem and your dad.
Well, yeah,
and-
I was going through this whole phase where I was trying to find light music, and the only Christian rock band I really got into, and then I still listen to them now and then, is 1,000 Foot Crutch.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're pretty
Yeah.
good.
I like Thousand Foot
They got a
Crutch.
few
They
good
do a
jams.
few-
Yeah, they got some
jams.
bangers. But yeah, I'd be listening to stuff like that and some pop punk stuff then that was a little light on the lyrics. I was
Sure.
basically trying to get anything that wasn't. I was doing the opposite of what I used to do. When I'd buy albums, I was trying to not look for the Parental Advisory sticker.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Trying to not look for a pentagram on the cover.
yeah, something
Okay,
like
that's
that.
fair.
Like
That's-
I said, that was
all
a
good.
short little phase, and then like I started hanging out with my brother and his college buddies, and that kind of brought me back home to
They got
rock
you
and
out of that.
Beastie Boys and
Yeah.
Beastie Boys.
drinking and all kinds of fun stuff. So
You went through a big
yeah.
musical
Oh, yeah.
shift.
for sure,
Yeah. Which I feel like a lot of us do. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
it's
I had
just
so many
different.
music phases.
It's
man.
different for yeah. I mean, he's had several. I mean, I used to be.
Yeah.
There was a time where I was strictly country, and that was all I listened to.
gotcha.
I wouldn't say all I listened to, but I was pretty much country and like old metal, like Metallica, thrash
Yeah.
metal,
Well, that's
hair
like
metal.
telling the high school into adulthood, if you will. I seem to always come at the tail end of a band phase. Like when everyone was like in like an Avenged Sevenfold and Five Finger Death Punch, when all them were coming out, I was still jamming Limp Bizkit and stuff. And the kids
Yeah.
I'd be working with, like, fucking grandpa, what the hell you listen to?
Yeah.
This is the new
Boomercore.
shit. Listen to this.
That's a term that the OG listeners will remember.
yeah.
Boomer
sure.
core.
So, and then I always come in and start liking their older stuff right when they're getting like phased out and
Yep.
everyone starts hating on them. So
Yeah,
then
I
it
get that.
doesn't become the cool thing anymore. So
No, that's okay.
it's okay.
You don't have to follow the crowd.
No,
I've always
no, for
believed
sure.
that. You don't have to follow the crowd.
Well, that's like I think I've mentioned with Tyler in text messages. Now that you guys are name dropping some bands, Polaris that you guys keep talking about. I've listened to a few of their stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't deep dive into much of it, but what happens a lot of time when I go to these festivals and stuff, I always try to get someone to watch my house, my dog, and whatnot.
Mhm.
Last summer, I had my youngest brother-in-law. He's about, I'm gonna say about 26 now. Just learned that he's into a lot of the same music me and his sister is, or my wife, his sister. And so a lot of time when he stays at my house, he'll watch music videos on YouTube. And I could tell that he watched Polaris. So I was like, hey, you know, they were just talking about it. I'm going to check that out. Hey, this ain't bad shit at all. Like,
Yeah.
all right.
Sounds
Then
like
I
we need
started
to
to
have
watch
your
what
brother-in-law
else
on the
he's
show.
watching. You know, I was like, oh, you like this
We
stuff.
can deep throat Polaris with him. Better service that animal.
That ain't even animal gay. That's just safety.
Oh man, that's funny. So I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'm gonna put you on the spot. You've got to pick your absolute favorite band right now.
Ooh, right now.
Yep.
Fuck.
Just one.
Oh,
Because I want to know if I should praise or roast.
you're going to probably roast this then. I'm going to just go back to a band I know I have every CD they have, every music they have. I know a lot of people don't like them. Apparently the last time they were around these woods, they were a bunch of dicks.
Can't
so, you guys going to... man, I'm going to get roasted.
Just do it.
Crazy Town.
Crazy
Crazy
Town.
Town.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
Crazy Town?
That's a,
Butterfly?
bro, that's,
Butterfly.
that's a song by Jason Aldean.
No, bro, you know,
Yeah,
you know
it is. You're not
Crazy
wrong there.
Town. You know what was
I can't
crazy
think
is
of it.
I fucking loved that song, but I never looked any deeper into Crazy Town.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay.
jam,
I said it's not
sugar,
everyone's-
baby, you're my butterfly.
I'm not going to roast that. I don't know enough about him to roast it.
Okay, well,
But that style of music is so infectious.
true.
Like that song is infectious as shit.
I mean,
It'll move you.
that song in itself is what kind of destroyed the band because the record label wanted them to keep on copying that kind of
That
music,
beat,
and
yep.
Oh,
that's not what they were about. Fun fact I've learned over the years, one of the original singers in the band was actually Will.I.Am from Black Eyed Peas.
Really?
Holy
They went to
shit.
school together. They were actually in a rap group, him and Shifty, who was the singer of Crazy Town. And then him and his rap group, before Black Eyed Peas got signed, and he went off and did his thing, and they went and their producer of the rap group ended up becoming the second singer of the band, which was Epic. So,
You said you were going to get roasted. I was not expecting Crazy.
oh, okay.
I was not.
That's a
I
jam,
was.
bro.
I was expecting
So I went far
Avenged
enough left field
Sevenfold.
not to get roasted.
I
Save my
prevail.
ass.
Yeah, you went out
Yeah.
of the ballpark there. So there was no roasting going to happen there. That's just interesting for that to be your favorite right now because everybody comes on here is like, oh, my favorite's XY band that everybody like one of the ones that would
Yeah,
immediately come to mind. So that's definitely not one.
gotcha.
So I'm curious, just because you kind of grew up in kind of prime, towards late of prime time of this genre, and you've already
Nu
mentioned
metal.
you like it, new metal.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about some new metal shows, because I hear some of them were fucking gnarly back in the day.
I didn't start
Like
really going to
fucking
shows until
Korn
late 2000s, but yeah, depending on what show and what venue you get, you get some nice, crowd mosh pits. Well, I can't talk and stuff like that. Obviously, my younger days, I loved getting the mosh pits. Not so much anymore.
Sorry, we're the same.
Yeah, I've always had bad luck. I've gotten knocked out with 3-liter bottles of Faygo in a mud pit.
Fake.
I got German suplex mid circle pit at Atreyu at Warped Tour.
I tray you, bro. That.
That was my first time seeing him. It was about 20 seconds in, and I got literally German suplex on the concrete. Sent to the medical tent.
That seems like
yeah.
Damn. Sounds like
Felonious
something that would happen at an
assault, like-
Atreyu concert.
Yeah,
that
the two
seems a
guys
little-
I was with supposedly went in while I was going to the EMT tent. Went in
took care of that.
and supposedly I don't know what all
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, because that seems a little bit much.
Yeah,
That warrants
and,
an ass beating.
So that
for
was
sure.
an 05 at Warped Tour. I didn't know what I was getting myself in. I was very anti pop punk emo. So a lot of the bands there I listen to now, but back then I hated, like My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy. I didn't care for them. The only bands I was there for was The Offspring, because I grew up on them.
Okay.
And what was the other band? Skindred. Love Skindred at that time.
I've heard that name, but I can't think of
they're
any
from another
songs.
country.
They're
I
both
can't
lying.
name.
They've never heard of them.
No,
but
I
go
swear
ahead.
I have.
Yeah. So the long going joke was every time I would go see The Offspring, something would happen where I could not see a full set. So it just happened. 05 Warped Tour. One of the girls that we were with, probably 95 pounds soaking wet,
Sure.
had a 300 plus pound females crowd surfer laying right on her. Took 6 of us to lift her off of her. So
What
we
the
had
fuck was that big bitch doing crowd
That's
surfing?
what I said. I mean, she was
You
a
know
big
there's
lady.
weight limits on roller coasters? I feel like there should be weight
They're living
limits
on
on. We
crowd
ain't trying to
surfing.
crowd
Oh,
There,
surf.
there
Lizzo,
should
big
probably be
ass.
signs.
So I finally
Sexy red going crazy.
So finally, this last August, I finally got to see a full set of them, so that was pretty good. One of the other times was Rock on the Range.
I would ask you what a tray was like live, but I don't think you remember.
Like I said, I
know.
was 25 seconds in. I couldn't even tell you what song they were playing. I was
25 seconds in is the story of my life, buddy.
25 seconds in and out.
Here I am. So I seen Atreyu
Rock on the Range.
Rock on the Range my senior year. They were on, like, I don't want to call it a side stage because it wasn't beside, from what I remember, it wasn't beside the main stage. It was back behind the venue or something.
Back out behind the comedy tent, probably.
Probably. It's all a blur nowadays. But
What year would that have been?
13? 2013,
shit.
2012, 2013.
I was
and
there,
I-
and I don't remember them being there. Shit.
And I think at the time, Becoming the Bull and a few others were out. And I remember being a young kid and seeing dude on stage with that lime green ass guitar, and he was known for it. Whatever dude's name is.
Oh yeah, okay, I know.
Lime green ass guitar.
He's a short ass dude too. He makes me feel tall.
I don't remember, but I just remember seeing that, and they put on a hell of a show at the time.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't able to see a full set of theirs until 2019, and that was on the Shiprock cruise.
Okay.
So that was pretty cool. Almost every song, the band members were going out, just rocking it with the crowd, the whole boat. It was a good time. I loved it. I enjoyed it.
Who's your favorite band you've ever seen live?
Ooh, well, shit.
Bro, he's been to 207 shows.
I know, that's why
He's got quite a list to go down.
I
Or
think
top 5 if need
my
be.
I think my all-time favorite would be AC/DC.
No way.
It was good
Interesting.
timing. I was a broke kid back then. I had no money. Drove 2.5 hours for it. Kind of were stupid. So the night before we drove up there to the same not same venue, same town, Detroit area. We went up and saw Godsmack, Drowning Pool.
Ooh.
At the
Like
time,
Motley
OG singer,
Crue. Huh?
like OG singer of
I think Ryan
Drowning
McCombs was
Pool.
with them at that time.
Well, hell, he died. That dude died in like
Yeah, way before I
didn't
started
he?
hearing
Did he
music.
really?
Oh yeah.
He only did the one album.
Yeah, he only did the one album.
Sinner, the best, their best
Yeah,
album.
by far.
Oh yeah.
But he died like right after that record.
Yeah, I want to say this was the time Ryan McComb was still their singer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was let's see. Yeah, Drowning Pool, Godsmack,
I love God.
Motley Crue. Those are the only 3 I can remember.
That might have been early enough where Vince was still audible. Like you could understand.
Yeah.
Almost peed.
Yeah, so this I think that show on the tour. So this had already Godsmack was there. Started the whole Godsmack Motley Crue beef, I
Okay.
guess.
Yeah, they do not like each other.
Oh no.
There is no love lost between those two.
Yeah, so that tour was a little turmoil for them.
Yeah.
But this was also, I think, the second show that Tommy Lee wasn't able to play.
Okay.
So they ended up
Was
tagging.
he just too fucking stoned?
I believe he broke his arm doing something stupid.
That sounds about
Would make
right.
sense.
Yeah.
He's the Steve-O of the music industry.
He is.
I can't remember what happened. I do remember him passing out bottles of bourbon into the crowd. Come out
Love
and
bourbon.
apologize for not playing.
He loves bourbon.
But they tagged in Morgan Rose from Seven Dust.
Oh, well,
finish
that's
out
not
the
bad
tour.
then.
Interesting.
Okay.
Which me and my brother loved, so we were all for it. This was one of the first concerts I went to. I didn't have to drive back home. So, yeah, I did quite the bit of drinking. That's why I was broke the next day. So we had to
Buy
scrounge
the damn tickets.
So we had to scrounge money the next day to drive back up because we didn't get a hotel because we went with a group of like 5 people. 2 of us were coming back up the next night for AC/DC. The other 3 weren't. So we had to drive back. I think we went up there with, between me and my brother, $50 for gas, food, and maybe a drink or 2. So yeah, it was a long week trying to get back and forth from work that week. But it was fucking worth it. Because I grew up loving AC/DC, so to see them live and rocking that out. It was at the Old Palace of Auburn Hills.
That place has held some of the most important concerts of all time. So that was where the very first Kiss Alive album was recorded.
See, I didn't know.
Was that
Recorded?
Yeah.
Not a huge fan of that venue.
So
that was actually my
I
second.
grew up a gigantic Kiss fan as a kid, like
Okay.
pre-junior
Yeah, my
high.
parents
Like,
love Kiss.
I mean, that was like I remember listening to the Destroyer album on vinyl like that.
nice.
So Ace Frehley was one of my favorite guitarists coming up. So yes,
Gotcha.
that venue is
historic.
renowned
I wasn't a
for his
big
its
fan of
history.
it just because of the seating arrangement, but the AC/DC concert was the second concert I went to that venue. The first would have been Megadeth with Volbeat, which was my first time hearing Volbeat. Loved it. I mean, I heard a song or 2 that they would play on XM radio back in the day.
Yeah.
Um,
We liked Volbeat
We
there
did.
for a bit.
We did.
yeah. I think the only other concert I went to there was, oddly enough, Motley Crue and Alice Cooper. Years later, and that was the last show. I don't think the arena's even up anymore. I think they demolished it when they moved into the Little Caesars Arena downtown.
Yeah. That where
So-
the Pistons play.
I was going to say,
Yeah, it's where
the
the
Old
Pens
Palace
and-
in Auburn
It's where the
Hills or whatever
Pistons
that's.
and I believe
No.
the Red Wings play there too.
Yeah. Sounds
They
right.
got rid of Joe Louis.
Because Malice at the Palace happened
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it that
yeah.
arena?
Yeah, that arena.
I
Mouse
think,
at the Palace, yeah.
Pistons, Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
Pistons,
Ron Artest,
Pacers,
Ron
Ben
Artest,
Wallace, I
Ben
believe it
Wallace.
was. Yeah.
Meta World Peace, motherfucker.
Didn't he change his name again?
I don't know.
I think he
And he
did
just Meta
eventually.
Wallace now,
I
or
have
not
no
Meta
idea.
Wallace. Meta Artest.
You know
I
what's
think
weird?
is
He turned into a decent role player
he's
years
a
later.
decent ball player. Yeah, he did.
Years later, he turned into a decent
Bro,
role player.
he was still a helpful role player with the Lakers late.
Yeah.
Yeah,
career.
that's true.
He was there.
Yep.
He came to the Lakers after Shaq left, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Kobe
yeah.
was still there, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember him
It was a
running with
while
Kobe.
after Shaq left. I think Shaq was like playing for the fucking Celtics or something at that point.
Oh, he
Right.
played on
For
so
the
many
Cavs.
teams. It's hard to keep track of.
Yeah, Suns, Cavs, Celtics, Heat.
Yes.
Damn.
Damn. Wow, we just went on a basketball trip. My
Yeah,
bad,
so
my bad, my
Who
bad.
would've
I'm
thought
curious, and I don't. Well, no, we're still on the topic of you said AC/DC was your favorite live. Give me
Well,
two
okay,
more.
so I'm gonna
Or ask
challenge you
why.
on this a little bit.
Mhm.
Was it based off of just this is a band that was my favorite growing up as a kid? I've wanted to see them forever, or was it they actually put on a really good show? Because
They
I'm
put on a
curious.
good show, but I think a lot of it was nostalgic for sure.
Mhm.
Even though I wouldn't say it was quite the nosebleed seats, but it was a perfect spot for us. You can see everything fine, and the way their stage was set up, they had a long walkway out to the center, big circle, and that thing came up
Oh, that's
hydraulically.
cool.
And Angus was up there just doing his thing on the ground, just rolling around, fucking jamming.
Crack.
So yeah, it
Love
was
crack.
definitely worth
Love
seeing.
crack.
The
He
only
can't
reason
hit-
why
he
that
can't
show
hit
came
like
about,
4 notes nowadays, but
only reason why that show came about is the year before they were in Columbus on my birthday, which would have been my 21st.
Mhm.
Wanted to go to it so bad. Once again, young kid going to college, didn't have the money, you know. One of my dad's friends, who's a huge musician, plays everything, great singer, local legend around our area. He's known more now for his car collection than he is his music. So on my 21st birthday, I go to my dad's house. This is the night before. We're going to have a big party there. And his friend Cam had already told me he had backstage passes for AC/DC in Columbus on my birthday, 21st. It's like, damn, that'd be cool. So when I showed up to my dad's house and this motherfucker is there, I'm like, what are you doing here? He's like, what do you mean? I was like, you had backstage passes to go see AC/DC in Columbus. Why are you here? He's like, oh, I thought I'd come over and hang out with you guys for your birthday. Say what?
Huh.
I'm like, so what did you do with the tickets? Oh, I gave it to a buddy of mine. I'm like, it's my birthday. You could have gave those fuckers to
I'm
me.
the buddy, bro.
I'm
Come
like,
on.
oh, man, I could have been that buddy.
It's a shit ass friend. I mean, he's probably a
I
great
was
guy,
my
but
dad's friend, not my friend, but nice guy.
This
He's
is our
always,
podcast, not your podcast.
So,
You set me up for it. Okay.
yeah. So yeah, that kind of sucked. So that's how that came about. I think I pitched it off to enough people, and my brother's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna buy you tickets."
Yeah.
When they come back around this summer. So it worked out.
Oh, yeah.
So what was? I'm gonna ask the inverse to that. What was the worst band you've ever seen live? Again,
that
lots
one's
to choose
actually a
from.
lot easier
Okay. Oh God. Okay.
because for some reason I was real hyped about it. I was, oh yeah, I want to fucking see this band live. It's not really my style of music, but fuck it, I'm gonna love it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun little vacation. Driving 8.5 hours to go see it.
Jesus.
Well, it was a concert at a NASCAR race.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Which one?
Bristol night race.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, baby.
But,
Love Bristol Night Race.
Fucking big and rich, dude. Fucking horrible.
Oh.
Fucking horrible.
No shit.
Yeah. They did a lot of. Did you guys ever see Kid Rock when he played at Rock on the Range?
I did not.
They did a lot of the same shit where they were just chopping all the songs up. He was
Like
putting
playing mashups.
Yeah, of his own song. So like he'd be putting lyrics of one song over the other song, and then breaking into some kind of bitch rant or something like that.
Yeah.
And then, okay, well, I can play an 8-minute piano solo. It's like, okay, cool. Can you play your music?
Play
Like,
the songs that
play
we
the
love.
songs. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is the reason why I'm sticking around because that year Kid Rock was at Rock on the Range, he was after Five Finger. No one in my group
Good
wanted
old
to listen to
five-toe
Five
death
Finger.
kick, huh? Yeah.
So we were just sticking there to see Kid Rock because we hadn't seen him. Grew up on, Ball with the Ball and
Yep.
Cowboy and all that.
the bang, the bang,
And we maybe got 45 seconds of all his hits. And then he'd come back and sing another song over another song's rhythm and beat. And
That's horrible.
guitars. Oh, it was fucking horrible. So, yeah, Big Rich pretty much did the same thing. They basically...
Just put their hits in a
Well,
mashup.
They started out with...
Metallica did that one time and it was golden. They do the Justice melody
okay.
where they take the entire And Justice for All album and put it into one. It is seamless, flawless, orgasmic, perfect.
Okay.
But they're also the greatest, so they can do that and make it good. So
I saw them, too, when they were at Rock and Range. That was a good time,
you were
too.
no.
I never
were-
got to see him. Never got to see him.
Don't feel bad. Jesse, my cousin I was talking about earlier, that was his first Rock on the Range. He was so stoked about it. But he had just recently started a factory job and had to be work at 6 a.m. And they had that big rain delay.
Yeah, I do
So
remember
they
hearing
didn't
about
go
that.
on until like 11:30.
Yeah.
He literally was walking out the gate as, they were coming onto the stage.
Ooh.
And that was the only reason why he wanted to come, because he wanted to catch Metallica. And
That's a kick in the dick.
I
if
think
I've
to
ever
this day
seen
he still hasn't seen them. So
I've
that
never
was one
seen
of-
him either.
Oh.
I've never seen him either,
It's our
unfortunately.
fucking most influential band to us ever.
I've
Oh,
never
for sure.
seen him either, and it's really sad.
We need
I
to make that
haven't, but
happen.
Yeah, it needs to
We
happen.
need to make that happen.
It needs to happen, just from the standpoint of they're not going to do it forever. You
No.
know, they're not old, but
No.
they're going to get old. You know,
They're
They
getting
all
up
still
there.
look good.
Oh,
yeah.
hell, they're what 50 something,
if not older. I mean,
55,
Maybe 60.
I'm almost 40, so they got to be pushing
maybe
mid
60,
60s,
maybe
mid
60.
60s for sure.
Yeah.
but I think Kirk is the oldest one. I think
I'm not sure.
Hmm.
Not sure.
Mustaine is older than all of them, and he
Yeah.
still looks like he is starting to get. Well, he had the
Yeah, he looks pretty.
cancer thing happen,
I didn't know that.
but I think he's doing okay now. But he did get cancer.
So big and fucking rich.
Yeah,
Have we ever talked about our worst shows that we've ever seen on this show? We ask people that all the time, and I don't know that we've ever talked about the worst bands that we've ever seen.
I often ask, like, what's the, for those that have, played shows, like, what their worst experience was. But
gotcha.
I don't know that I've been to any shows that were, like, particularly bad.
Yeah.
Like, other than ones that I've played. Yeah.
You do suck.
But
Yeah.
but from a performance standpoint, you don't feel as if there's a band you've seen that were kind of like, other than Invent. Excuse me.
Five Finger Death Punch was super disappointing when I seen them, but I think I've talked about that
You
on
did
the show.
talk about that one. It was a Shinedown show, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it was
Yeah.
Five Finger Death Punch as the headliner. Shinedown was with them,
Outshine them.
but they
Yeah.
outshined
Yeah.
them for sure.
Like
They
Audio
shined him right
Slave.
down.
Yep. And
Outshine! Outshine! Outshine!
I can see that
that's
happening.
a jam. Well, you know about
Oh,
Audio
Chris
Slave.
Cornell, bro.
I fucking jam some audio slave.
Okay,
Their
okay.
self-titled album is fucking gold.
So that was Chris Cornell, Tom
Tom
Morello.
Morello, and I don't know who else.
There was the rest of the members from Rage Against the Machine.
Was it?
Is that what it was?
I believe it was. It
Tim
basically was-
Comerford, front with the bassist.
Yeah, I know the bassist and the bassist
So yeah,
and
Tim
drummer were both in that
Comerford.
group.
I cannot think of their drummer's name.
So I
but-
remember at the time
because
when they
let's be
came out,
real, dude's fucking vocals from Rage suck. He
Oh,
sucks.
for sure.
So it's like, wow, maybe we should just kick him out and just make Rage Against the Machine with Chris Cornell.
Right, a little
Which
more
was
soulful
great.
music.
That first album was
Oh
amazing.
my god, unreal.
The Audio Slave self-titled.
But yeah, so that they came out about the same time because they were Chris Cornell, with Rage.
Yeah,
At the same time, Velvet Revolver came out, which was
with
Guns
Slash.
N'
Yeah.
Roses with Scott Weiland.
Yep, Scott Weiland. That's right. But it
But
was
not
still,
Scott. Is
But
Scott
was
Weiland?
it still Duff
Yeah, okay.
McKagan? It was Duff McKagan and all those
Oh, yeah.
guys.
Was
so
it really?
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
thought was Velvet. Now Slash's Snake Pit was different.
So I mean, I don't
What
know
was
if
that
you-
one big song that Velvet
Slither.
Revolver?
Slither.
Slither. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, because
But-
wasn't that when they were beefing with Axl?
Axl at that time, I think, had already went and did his own thing and did the Chinese Democracy album that took like 13 years to make and then fucking flopped.
It did flop.
And then they tried to do a
'Cause we were
world
hyped
tour, and
about it
that
at the
fucking
time.
flopped.
Oh,
But yeah, back to the Velvet Revolver. Velvet Revolver. It's flowers and then guns. Instead of Guns and Roses.
Makes
I didn't
sense.
notice that until someone pointed out to me.
fucking
I was like,
half-mast,
shit, man,
baby.
that's kind of catchy.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think velvet is a flower. It's a texture. It's a fabric. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Are you thinking of a violet, sir?
Maybe.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm not the one that
That's
brought
a
it up.
caller.
Someone brought it up to me. I'm like, oh,
That's
fuck.
a caller. Chris Cornell. I am not
Touche.
the biggest Soundgarden fan, but I definitely liked Audio Slave.
Yeah.
Just
sure.
because I think that it was
Bouncy
more
riffs.
it was more metal. It was still hard rock music, but it was more I think Tom Morello's influence helped, and it was just a little more edgy. Like it brought out, I think, the grittier side of Chris Cornell.
Yeah, well, I liked it too because, with it being Rage Against the Machine and Chris Cornell from Soundgarden, none of their stuff sounded like either one of those.
It
No,
did.
it
was like
did
its
not
own
at all.
entity.
They did
Yeah.
it perfectly. That's the one thing I didn't care for about Velvet Revolver. It
Same.
just kind of sounded like Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, it was like a new age Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I think since Slash joined, I believe they came out with an album. I'm guessing it probably sounds just
Well, hell,
like
Guns
that.
N' Roses is back together now, so they're
Yeah,
I
I
everybody's
just can't
back
remember if
together.
they came up with an album.
Creed's-
or they got back
Creed's
together.
back together.
Slash still running around?
Who?
Miles Kennedy and Slash? Are they still running around?
I don't know because Miles
not
is
for
still
sure.
doing Alter Bridge
Yeah.
with Tremonti.
Last I knew.
But I don't know what Alter Bridge is doing right now with Tremonti being back in Creed.
I'm sure they're going to probably take some kind of hiatus.
Yeah, hyenas, real hyenas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a real hyenas. I lay on my back to shit. I'm gonna get some more wine.
So, tell me, what's, I'm curious because, I mean, it's a
Fucking
trek for
rednecks.
us, it's a trek for you. What is the Northern Ohio music scene like?
Not much there, man. Seems like every once in a while we'll get something going. Also depends on your taste of music.
Mm-hmm.
There is one group,
I got more.
if they do announce a show, I'll go see them. I worked with the kid back in the day. He has a group, but it's called KB now, but it used to be called Clash in Black.
Okay.
And that's how I met the guys at Fate of Orion because they used to do shows together back in the day.
Okay.
And now they're just going by KB. It's they're twin brothers, and they do all kinds of stuff. It's more of a, I don't want to say EDM, but there's a lot of synth and
Okay.
guitars and laptops
Some, like,
involved.
Nine
and
Inch Nails
It's more
kind
of
of
a
stuff.
no. I'd say lighter. It's more like a
What's that one Nine
poppy
Inch
Imagine
Nails
Dragons, I
song
guess
that was
you would
really
say.
Oh,
really
and
popular?
they have like
Oh,
light
no.
shows and stuff. It's not my cup of tea, but
I know some radio stations that'd probably love it.
oh, probably.
What the fuck is that
Oh,
song?
yeah.
It's horrible.
Oh, Closer, or is it called Closer?
Maybe. I don't know. It's horrible.
But
I wanted to nuke that band into the sun.
talk about
You didn't like Nine Inch Nails?
No, I don't like EDM.
I never got into them, but
That
I
basically
never.
stands for "Eat Dick, Man" to me. Like,
I think the only song I really gave a chance was the Hand That Feeds.
Yeah.
Besides that, I mean, it's all.
I mean, they got a few songs that jam.
okay.
no.
So, I mean, when you go to shows, if and when, or when you're out going to shows, you're traveling then?
Yeah, any show I go to is gonna probably be about an hour and a half or more out of my way.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't mind it. It's usually worth the time.
Yeah.
So probably what, like an hour and a half from Columbus?
Yeah, about a little under an hour and a half. Which I've been going there a lot this year because King of Clubs,
Yeah, dog.
they do a.
Mm-hmm.
At least they did it last year. I'm guessing they're gonna probably do this every year. They do an anniversary show where you're gonna win the prize of free tickets for a year.
Oh,
And I actually
shit.
won that. So it sucks that I'm not closer and work second shift, or I'd be going to a lot more shows.
Did you really win that?
Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
So yeah.
Was it
Well,
raffle
well
thing?
deserved.
Is that like certain shows
Yeah, I was
or
gonna say
all
very
shows?
well deserved.
From my understanding, all shows. Ricky, who owns the place, runs
and you
the place.
didn't go to Polaris?
I had to work that day, man. It sucks.
I hate that. I hate that.
I
for you.
literally,
really do.
I did put
Fuck
something on
you,
Facebook.
Thorn's job.
Hey, I literally did put something on Facebook trying to find somebody at work. Like, hey, you want to work this, Sunday for me so I can go to a show? They're like, I'm working for you next Saturday so you can go to a show. Like,
It was amazing, man. They called in all your favors.
I'm really upset that
do you not want to
traded-
make money, bitch, or what?
I'm real upset that you traded Mushroom Head for Polaris, man. I mean,
Well,
it
Mushroom
was-
Head landed on my day off.
Oh, well, then you didn't have
And
to trade.
it was like late, because so I get me and a +1 to each show.
Okay.
And my cousin, Jesse, once again, it's his favorite band. We try to go see him every year during the Halloween time because they usually put on a great show. So I missed out on them last year due to my surgery. So I had to make up for it this year, and it was free. So, but it was great. Packed house.
If it's free, it's for me.
Yeah. It was packed house. Got to see a lot of people I haven't seen since before COVID that I used to go see at the shows and festivals. So it was a good time.
So who was your, I guess for the listeners, who was on the last bill that you went and seen, and then who is on the next bill that you're going to
All
see?
right, so last week was Mushroom Head. They didn't have a band before them. They had Hell's a Poppin' Circus. I don't know if you guys ever seen or heard from it, but it's basically a modern day freak show.
Sounds about
Sword
right for Mushroom
swallowing,
Head.
flame,
Is
breathing.
Mushroom Head like a theatrical?
Yeah,
deal?
yeah.
They
And they did have a couple bands before, but I was too busy outside hanging out with people, like I said, I haven't seen, catching up and whatnot. So I didn't even realize they were playing.
Okay.
And then next week we are going to see, I'm trying to remember now. Oh, it's it's Avatar. In This Moment, Ice Nine Kills. And I want to say there's another band. I can't think of who it is.
I don't know who Avatar is, but Ice Nine Kills and In This Moment
I feel like
seem
I've heard of
perfect for the
Avatar.
same
Yeah,
bill.
they do. That's cool.
Avatar is from Sweden.
I don't
pretty
like
good.
Ice Nine Kills, but
I'm not a big fan of
I
them
get a
either.
lot of shit for that on social media because
I
they
get
had
it.
such a rabid following. And I'm
do.
like,
They do.
I do not like concept bands.
well they
Gotcha.
they have some songs that pop up for me that I enjoy, but it's not a band I can listen through like
No.
an album.
Yeah,
I can't.
And for me, if I can't listen through an album of yours, like
Yeah,
you
I don't like
exist.
concept bands, concept albums. I don't.
I like concept albums. Those are really hard to write. So when a
Yeah.
good one comes out,
The only
like,
one that I
appreciate it.
like is Operation Mindcrime by Queensryche. It's the only concept album I
Okay.
like. And that was
Um,
from, I can't remember if that was the 90s or the 80s, but long time ago.
Yeah. So this show, so most shows I go to, there's always usually a reason behind it. It's not just like, oh, I have a day off, let's go to a show. So In This Moment is one of my wife's favorite bands.
Cool.
Avatar is one of my favorite.
Okay.
Avatar,
Is Ice Nine Kills headlining?
yes, I think so. I think them and In This Moment are
So you can leave early.
irreverse. Well, no, I'll get to that point here in a second. But Avatar, when we were down at Welcome to Rockville, which is in Daytona at the Speedway, last May, they were the only band that we miss besides Trivium due to the rain. And my
Love
friend,
Trivium.
oh, I love Trivium too. My friend's daughter, who was with us, that was like the one band she really wanted to see. We got a song and maybe 45 seconds into the next song before they cut the mics and kicked us all out. So originally, we were going there for her to see Avatar. I wanted to see Avatar again. My wife loves In This Moment. And my brother and his son, like Ice Nine Kills, had never seen them. So that's the whole reason we were going to go to that. So I know my brother's been trying to catch Ice Nine Kills for a few years now. So I was like, hey, I'll buy your tickets for you. We'll count it as a birthday and Christmas gift. And then in return, a group I've been wanting to see is Tech Nine coming to Columbus on my birthday. So he bought those tickets for me in return. So that's
cool.
something we got kind of going. Me and my brother
You had a
we'll do
really
that. And then
wide-ranging
my
music
cousin and my
taste.
wife will do the same.
You have
Yeah.
a very wide-ranging music taste.
Yeah, I'd say that. Quite a palate.
Yeah.
That's
impressive.
good. That's awesome.
Very impressive. That's one thing that I criticize myself on quite a
Well,
bit.
probably shouldn't say this because this is probably going to set me up for a nice roast. But the summer that I saw AC/DC,
Mhm.
I ended the summer with AC/DC the night before with Motley Crue. I began in the summer with Taylor Swift and Keith Urban.
Love Keith Urban.
You
Oh, I
won't
love
get any
Keith Urban.
Keith
That's
Urban
why I was there.
slander.
You ain't gonna get any Keith
You
Urban
won't
slander
get
here.
No, sir. He's a fucking badass.
That's one of the
Oh,
most
yeah.
talented musicians on the planet. No,
Yep.
love Keith. Always had. I mean, even from the '90s, his early stuff I loved.
Oh yeah,
He's like the
If I ever make a
John
country
Mayer of
playlist
country
on
music is what I call
Spotify,
him.
he's
or
on
the.
there.
And I know he's a much better guitar player. Maybe it's just similar looks to me or something. But the Goo Goo Dolls singer,
Oh,
he's like the Goo Goo Dolls of
God,
country,
what is his name?
singer of country. I can't remember.
Yeah, I always just thought he's country John Mayer.
Yeah,
is what
that's
he
a
is.
good way to put it.
Oh yeah,
That's a
John
good way
Mayer.
to put it.
And they've played guitar together. I mean, they've done dueling
Yeah.
solos before, which is incredible. And I'm like, it's
that's something
on
I gotta
YouTube.
see.
You can look it up. They're
All
on
right,
stage
well.
live, just trading solos. It's amazing.
I wonder what the
amazing.
prep was like for that. Were they both like in their rooms, like nervous?
Yeah, like I'm literally about to duel John Mayer. Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Well, I'm about to duel my counterpart.
Yeah.
He knows all
The
my
thing
tricks.
about Keith, the thing about Keith, one song he's playing guitar, the next song he's playing bass, the next song he's playing banjo, the next song he's playing
Yeah.
mandolin. Like he's
Yeah.
he's bouncing.
But he does it in a
playing-
way where he's not like a prick. Like, hey, watch what I can do.
No, it's
No.
all
Like,
about
hey,
the
I'm here-
music.
yeah.
It's all about the music.
then
I'm
he-
going to entertain you with this. I'm not just.
You ever
doing
see
this
the
to show
video
off.
of this dude that's holding up a sign that says I can be your rhythm guitar player, and Keith brings him up on stage, hands
Nice.
him his guitar, and this kid absolutely fucking shreds the entire song, and then also does some improv shit. Keith is like blown away by this kid, gives him the guitar. And it's an amazing video. He's one of
Yeah.
my favorite people on the planet.
So the time that I
and
s-
he gets to bang Nicole Kidman.
Yeah,
That's pretty dope.
yeah,
So
living our dreams.
I mean, listen,
Days of Thunder, man. That's all I can think of when you say Nicole Kidman.
yeah, she was banging Tom Cruise then. So
Yeah.
him and Tom Cruise are Eskimo brothers. So he's essentially fucked Tom Cruise. Everybody wants to fuck Tom Cruise. That's fantastic.
Hey, I did get recently told by a customer that I look like young Tom.
They lied.
In what way?
Damn, I don't know, but she said that.
Tom had all
Soon
his
as I
hair
got out of
when
the
he
car,
was
you-
young. Tom still has.
She
all
just
his
wanted
hair.
your nuts and wanted to call you fucking Maverick while she was doing it.
Yeah.
Hey, she's a nice lady.
She's a nice lady.
How do you know she was nice? Because she gave you coffee.
She's real nice to me.
She didn't
You
do
look like
anything
a
else?
young Tom Cruise.
Her husband, the whole time I was at their house, looked at me like this. Fucking cross-eyed.
He
as
must
shit.
not be. That's why she called you young Tom
Oh,
Cruise.
Jerome.
Oh,
His name was
Walleye.
Jerome.
Should have called him Walleye. Yeah, I'll take some.
So yeah, so the show I saw Keith Urban at, Taylor was the opening act.
Good. That bitch should be opening for Keith.
Yeah, this is right before she blew up, I guess you would say. It was also the day I proposed to my wife.
Hey.
Oh.
So impromptu, not how it was supposed to go down, but it
And apparently
happened.
she said yes.
Yeah. But I loved it because every time Keith had a chance, he would start trolling the crowd by trying to play some Taylor Swift shit.
Oh,
Get
really?
them all hyped up, thinking Taylor was going to come out, and yeah, she never came. At
Uh,
least not on stage for us to see.
She
she
never
was
came.
coming in
huh?
the background.
I think old Kelsey's got that taken care of, don't he?
If he's not
Travis
scoring on the field,
Kelce.
he's scoring out.
Johnny?
You fucking idiot. God. I'm going to put this capo over your suck hole.
Damn.
Suck hole no more.
He's gonna raise your pitch.
If I put a capo on my penis, would it stop premature ejaculation, doctor?
One way to find out.
Please don't use my
Only
capo
one
for
way to
those
find
reasons.
out, son.
I think this would be a great time of do not try this at home, kids.
Yeah, don't put a capo on your manhood.
Don't do whatever Kyler does.
No one should ever take any advice from me in any way, shape, or form ever.
Got it.
Yeah, except buy the damn tickets.
I
That
was
was
about
my
to say
Yeah,
one.
okay.
That was my one good.
I mean, I
piece
was
of
already doing
advice
that
I've
before you
had.
told me, so
Don't take any advice from him either, because he's telling people to do crack. So
I do
Who,
love
Preston?
crack. Love crack.
well, see, I joke about crack a lot at work, which I probably shouldn't because I've been accused of drug use so many times and gotten drug tested and car searched and stuff.
really,
I played a good joke at the aid station one year where I convinced all the ladies I worked with that I was dealing black tar heroin out the back of my truck.
Mm.
Tell them I had tie-offs, syringes, whatever they need. Next thing I know, I'm getting walked out by management and a police officer wanted to search my car.
Holy shit.
can't
like,
trust these hoes, bro. You can't.
Yeah,
we don't
so-
love these
so
hoes.
joke-
Buy the
ju-
tickets
You should
and buy
have
the
should have
crack.
kept it going on the way
Oh.
out the door.
Oh, I kind of did. And then cops like, you just don't know when to shut up, do you? I'm
He
like,
didn't say cop,
I'm
he
like,
said
it was
cop.
just a joke.
God.
You didn't say cap.
So I'm
cap.
like, well, here, I'll show you. So at the time, I had a truck. It had the backseat where you pull up and you had like your little toolbox and everything underneath it. And open, I'm like, hey, this is where I told him I had it. Obviously, it's not there because it was a fucking joke. And they're like, oh, okay, well, it was a good joke, I guess, because, I mean, they fucking believed. I'm like, that was the whole point, was to be as serious as fuck, thinking that everyone would get my sarcasm. So obviously I kind of narrowed it down to who the one person that didn't get the sarcasm. Yeah. So I remember going back into work, and at that time I worked in the kitchen at the nursing home.
Fuck that bitch.
I wish Tyler was as good at telling jokes as you are. He's been telling us he's straight for years. I still don't believe it, bro.
Sorry, Tyler, with a mouth like that.
You gotta be more believable, bro.
It is a little hard to believe.
We know why
I got some luscious lips, man. You have no idea what this mouth
You
is.
got hella DSL.
But,
you got hella DSL drinking wine.
But I went back to the nurse station. I kind of figured out who it was. I went back to the nurse station.
Did you beat her with a wet hose?
Oh, no. I just tried to scare Jesus into her. I was like, hey, y'all. Just got my car searched from,
They didn't find my fucking heroin, bitch. I'm coming for you.
So, I don't know who told on me, but I only told you bitches. So, just remember, snitches get stitches.
Yeah.
And I'll meet you out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So
My name's Thurn.
So luckily the lady followed me back in the kitchen. I knew it was her, and she's like, "I was just concerned for you. People are dying left and right of heroin." But do you really think I'm that fucking stupid?
I don't get high on my own supply.
I'm fucking working.
That's what I should have done. Just continued it.
Heroin addicts
didn't
don't
find
work.
my
I was gonna say it, but you said it first. If you want that crank, you ain't working. You working on crank.
You're fucking twerking for crank.
It makes me feel so fucking good. Makes me want a thing in my mouth.
Just a tip, Preston.
makes
Just a
me
He
tip.
said, I gotta go.
So
I gotta pay my
horny.
light bill. I'm behind on my light bill. $18.
Can you bless me with something, please? Money wise. I don't know. Can you suck it? What? That bitch looked like Bugs Bunny.
You sure did.
Should have been dead on a Sunday morning, banging my head.
Hey, speaking of which, I believe you had mentioned you have a story.
Oh.
Oh,
Can I
this
pee
was-
first?
this
He
was-
said, let me put my
Let
glass
me pee
down.
first.
Oh, yeah.
Preston's
Well, I mean,
gonna
it's
go
empty
drain
now.
his lizard real quick, but this was teased in. Hey,
It's a gecko.
give a little mouse swipe. This was teased in the group chat that there is a
For sure.
a story about a certain band,
All days.
and I think that is the band that is most talked about on this show
Oh, yeah.
by
Oddly
far.
enough.
Partly as a joke, but also
yeah,
partly
for sure.
because they're like,
We need to
Fantastic.
get the flag made to hang right there that says "In Scott Stapp We Trust,"
We should.
or like "Make America Creed Again."
Ooh. That'd be
Maka.
a good one.
Makaka.
my goodness.
That would be amazing, bro. We
I
could
mean,
get
it
it
would
made
be
in the
pretty
same
fantastic.
font. Although if we got it made in the same font, the Don might sue us.
He might.
No, he's got plenty of money. He don't need any money from us.
I mean, it's a pretty generic font.
It is. Yeah. All right, he's
hard.
back. Let's hear it.
Be kind of hard to prove in court, right?
True.
Yeah. All right. So obviously we're talking about Scott Stapp. So oddly enough, last week when I was driving down to Columbus, I was telling Jesse about your guys' podcast. Give it a listen. Oddly enough, he doesn't remember you guys. Don't know why not.
They're not very memorable.
Yeah, I mean,
But told him that I had teased this to Tyler. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna tell him the story, aren't you?" So, oh yeah, I'm
The
gonna tell
story.
him the story.
Oh,
This is the main reason why Finley does not have a music venue right now. Well, the start of the end, if you will.
Okay.
But,
Scott, what the fuck did you do?
He, in a way, looking at it, was kind of petty, but I don't fucking blame him because they're trying to fuck him over. So, for those who don't know, Scott Stapp is, I believe, still a recovering alcoholic, and
Yes.
he's very, when he was doing his solo stuff as Scott Stapp, he's very particular on who he played with, what bands played with him, what venues, and how they went about their day of the show. So, August 24th, 2018, he's coming to play in Finley. I had bought tickets for my cousin Jesse just because we grew up on Creed.
Mm-hmm.
Never seen him. Well, he hadn't seen him at that time. I've seen Scott a few times before that. Actually had, a few drinks and conversation with some of his band members at the time, who I believe still was his band members until he stopped doing the Scott Stapp stuff now that they're doing Creed. So I was taking my dad as a late Father's Day gift because he loved Creed. He's the one who got me into it. So the other way around, he got me into Creed. So usually when we had shows in Findlay, the venue was called the All American Rock House. Great venue. We'd always try to find a local eatery, usually close by. Eat, drink, head to the show, have a good time. I knew the people who ran the place, not the person that owned the place, unfortunately. So, I mean, they always treated me like gold. Always coming around trying to get me, you know, hey, you want a bucket of beer? We got you. They let me backstage many times, on stage, to take photos and stuff for the page and whatnot. For this certain show, we didn't choose a restaurant nearby. We went to where Jesse wanted to go or whatever. And while we were there, I seen on Facebook, there's a video of Scott Stapp. He's advertising a meet and greet at the venue. Which I'm like, that's odd. Why would you do that the day of the show and not promote it before? You know, you think that'd get some high traction.
Mm-hmm.
But me knowing the people that run the place, they stopped doing meet and greets because it was always a shit show.
It's hard to control.
Yeah, it's just hard to control. They try to make it kind of like a fan interaction thing where you can get a photo with the band and stuff. But I don't know, they've hired crackheads to be photographers because I remember, I'm going to say it was either Puddle of Mud or Fuel we did a meet and greet with and took a photo, and the fucker took a photo of the ground and our feet.
Sweet.
Yeah, so
Crackheads.
great photo. Yeah.
Love crack.
So they kind of stopped doing it because they just didn't want to deal with that issue. And I always joked around, well, fuck, I'll do it. I'm like, I can take a fucking picture. Like, it's not hard. Like, just tell the people to come in, stay with the band, give me the phone, I'll fucking do it. They never got behind it. So I thought that was kind of odd. So since I know the people that ran the place, we'd always come early, get in early, get a few beers in before the rest of the crowd gets in, have a few drinks with the guy who did all the booking and whatnot. He would tell us, like, hey, we got, you know, these people coming in, we're trying to get this band, and that band, you know. Next thing I know is the guitar player for Scott Stapp at the time, they would always have the bands go to a separate bar near the stage. For whatever reason, that bar only served alcohol. This guy wanted a bottle of water. I heard him, you know, like, hey, like, you guys can't run and give me a bottle of water. The guy serving, being a dick, whatever. So I was like, fuck it, I got him. Went, got a water, started talking. Got to remember me from when I saw him in Fort Wayne a couple of years before. And so I'm like, oh, so Scott decided to do a meet and greet at the last second. And he's like, oh, no, that wasn't what happened. He's like, we came here, we were told the last second that ticket sales were low. And they thought, hey, we can put you up on Facebook Live, advertise a meet and greet. We can generate some ticket sales.
And this was how long ago? I'm sorry.
2018.
2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Scott kind of like low in. Okay, I'll go on Facebook Live and do it. Sure, whatever. Because all the shows I did previously, he never would really do meet and greets. What he would do is he would have a stand at most of the shows. Because him and his wife started doing a charity. Don't know exactly what it is, but it was
Scott and his wife.
Yeah, Scott and his wife. The charity, in some shape, form, or fashion, would help support adoption kids in foreign countries or help feed them and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he would ask, you donate to that, and then he'll come take a picture with you or something. So I knew that wasn't like his thing. On top of that, like I said in the beginning of the story, Scott Stapp was very particular with what bands were playing at the show and how they would interact.
Because he didn't want a bunch of drunks.
Yeah, drunks, druggies, whatever you want, people he could trust. When he got there, he found that all the bands that he had agreed to were not on show, all different bands, and it was a shit show. I mean, I've never seen that much drugs at a fucking show before.
Holy shit.
Oh,
Just going
man.
pedaling around just in the bathroom,
Well, so far, none of this sounds like Scott Stapp's
No.
fault.
So guitar player's like, hey, Scott's not happy, but, he's going to continue with it. He's going to try to be professional as he can. He's kind of ticked off. He's kind of ticked off that, he has to basically send someone out to the bar to go get him a water because the bar next to them don't serve water. And the bar for this venue is like dead smack in the center.
Okay.
And he didn't want to go out there,
Oh yeah, he wouldn't
ruckus.
be able to get to the damn
Yeah.
bar and back.
So we're like, oh man, that sucks. Well, that's cool. He wants to still play the show. And the guitar player basically said, oh, don't worry, he's gonna get that. We're like, huh? He's like, Scott's got something planned tonight. Let's just say that. We'll leave it at that. He's like, he looked at me. He's like, I know you've seen Scott and us play before. It's not gonna be our normal show. I was like, all right. Don't know if that's good. Don't know if that's bad, but I'm going to
fucking
watch.
here for it.
So backside story of this venue, it's in a good spot. Well, unfortunately, there's a lot of, what's a nice way of saying this, rich, stuck-up assholes that lived behind the venue who would constantly call the cops.
Noise complaints.
Noise complaints.
The cops.
And this is the main reason why the venue basically got shut down is the owner didn't want to fork a little bit of money for the lawyers to fight the BS that was going on with that. Even though he had all the local politicians on his side. Like, I went to concerts there, saw the mayor drunk off her ass, dancing on stage with Josh Todd at Buckcherry, having a good old time.
Let's go.
Getting her tits out.
Yeah.
That's baby.
So, yeah, I mean,
Hell yeah, huh?
crazy, man.
there was a video, like,
Makes me think of the teacher off of School of Rock.
Varsity
Yeah.
Blues.
School of
bro.
Rock.
Varsity
Varsity Blues,
I
yeah,
can't
baby.
remember.
Miss
now.
Hand.
What
Give
was
it
her
a hand.
name? Miss oh fuck. It was like Miss Johnson or something.
Yeah, something generic.
Amazing. School of
But,
Rock is
yeah, there was
ass
a
compared to
video
Varsity
from the
Blues, bro.
closed
I don't
caption
remember it
channels
much.
where she's in city council, like, sticking up for this place.
Yeah.
So all you had to do is, pony up a little money for the lawyers that probably fought it and kept it. But then this happened, so it probably was the end all. So pretty much, I think it was like every 10 minutes they would go over the sound curfew. They would get a fine of, I think it was like something like $1,500.
Jesus Christ.
So
I know that doesn't sound like a lot of money, but for a smaller music venue, that's a lot of
somehow
money.
this got in Scott Stapp's ear.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Before he performed?
before he performed, somehow this got in his ear. So first of all, the first thing I noticed is he started out with Bullets, which I love.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good
Got
song.
the crowd going. It's good. Good time. Nice and loud. And he went almost an hour and 25 minutes over the sound curfew. Fighting the staff every step of the way, trying to cut him off. There was at times when I was watching, I was waiting for Scott to either throw a fist, a finger, or something. But no one in the staff had the balls to cut the mics. Because
Scott Stapp.
Oh yeah, they were threatening to cut off the mics, and he just kind of looked at him, smiled, and went on to his thing. But we didn't realize it until about we were looking at the clock. We're like, okay,
I'm
this is
sure
gonna
they
be
were
ending
playing
soon.
real loud too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they cranked it up to 11 for sure. But yeah, basically the amount of money for those fines financially corrupt the facility.
And he was doing it out of spite because of the situation.
From my
They
understanding,
changed
yes.
the bill. Couldn't. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What,
The
couldn't give him a
impromptu-
fucking water?
He went
Impromptu
over.
meet and greet.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I don't feel a damn bit sorry for the venue.
Oh
buddy.
no. And then shortly after that,
Damn.
But around here, in all fairness, Scott Stapp can do no wrong.
Oh, for sure.
So that's just us.
I mean, I thought it was funny. I mean, as soon as they went 5 minutes over, and I seen that they were going to another song,
You're like, you knew what was happening.
we were looking at our phones. We were looking. We're like,
Plus, you were
"Oh,
warned.
fuck,
You were
no,
given
they're
a heads
not."
up.
Yeah, I was like, oh fuck, they are gonna
Play all night.
going raw, baby. I was like, oh shit. So needless to say, after that, almost every show that they had on the dock was canceled. And that's when they started really doing some shady shit by promoting ticket sales on Facebook, even though the shows were canceled. I remember they had a...
Then I really don't feel sorry for him.
No, the guy who was doing the booking for the shows after that show quit. Because, I mean, it made him look like an ass, trying to find the bands that Scott would agree to, and then just, totally get shit on.
Wait,
I mean, I can understand Scott being difficult to work with on things like that,
Oh, yeah.
but I mean, I do, but I don't. But is it too much to ask for him to be like, look, I am I'm a recovering alcoholic. I don't want to play with a bunch of people that are a bunch of drunks and drug addicts. And
I want to be able to get some motherfucking water.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Which I'm surprised like they didn't just have like
water for them.
Yeah, in
Why would you
in the
not have-
green room. Or
yeah, in the
something.
green
I will go to Kroger and get a 40-pack of water if that means I get Scott Stapp in my garage
Yeah,
to play.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's just so unprofessional to me.
So,
Yeah,
Like,
I'll
I'll
get him
like
a
the
40-pack
venue-
of Fiji.
Here's what that
yeah,
sounds like to
fucking
me.
Fiji.
Oh yeah, but
Evian,
Evian,
baby.
bro.
Oh.
Core. I don't give a shit. You
Aye.
want it, I got you, Scotty. It sounds like the venue got too big for their britches, and they wanted to be like, well, I don't care if you are Scott Stapp. I'm not saying
In a
they
way.
did any of that necessarily on purpose,
Mhm.
but they paid price for it, literally.
I
And
mean,
just-
at that
so
time, they
fuck
were
'em.
changing a lot of their management and the people they worked for him and stuff. So he was starting to go downhill. The final straw for me going there was when I seen that they're still advertising ticket sales for shows,
That aren't actually
and then seeing
happening.
bands like not even bands I followed. Like one of them was Jeff Tate of Queen Desire.
Yeah, Queensryche. Yep.
Yeah,
Jeff Tate.
he was supposed to come there.
Geoff Tate.
I found out
Yeah.
that they canceled the show because Ricky
He was at
who
King of
owns
Clubs the other day.
King of the Clubs.
Not too long ago. Yep.
His band was supposed to open for him. And I had messaged him like, hey, you guys coming up, to my neck of the woods, we're going to be there, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, that show got canceled a few weeks ago, which happened to just be a few days after that Scott Stapp show. And then next thing I noticed, I seen that they're still advertising ticket sales. The next thing I know, I see Jeff Tate, he's proposing like, hey, this venue canceled on us. They didn't want to work with us. But here they are still trying to sell VIP packages that don't exist. We're not coming. And it was just a shit show.
Good job out of Jeff Tate.
So real quick, and maybe I
Real
glossed
quick.
over.
Don't
it.
lie.
Why did the original bands not show up for the Scott Stapp show again? You're
I
not
have
sure.
no clue.
Okay,
I don't know if it was.
so they had to
disagree-
scramble and book something.
I don't know if those
Scott.
bands
You
canceled.
don't know if they
I don't
have
know
to scramble,
if
had to scramble or not.
the venue. Well, I knew from what I've heard, the guy who owned the venue had certain alliances to the bands that ended up opening up for Scott Stapp.
Ah.
So I think it was just trying to get his buddies.
It was
some
it was a
playtime.
you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Well, they pissed off the wrong motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
That's what it sounds like to
he
me.
did that shit out of spite.
Oh,
That's
that
hilarious.
sure definitely
man.
sounds
That's
like
metal.
that.
That, I was getting ready to
That
say that
is
before I
metal as
could, bro.
fuck.
That's metal as fuck. It makes me want to get in Scott Stapp We Trust tattooed on me now.
Oh yeah.
Should have been dead on a Sunday morning.
Morning.
I figured I would just let you ride that one out because you did it twice.
I just wasn't feeling it.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
That
didn't
was-
commit.
No.
I don't think I did.
I
You gotta
didn't
fully
commit.
commit,
I
bro.
did.
You went up to the edge of the cliff and then stepped off, and I stopped at the edge right there with you.
Hang it. I'm
Shit.
6 feet over the edge.
Oh.
There we go. I'm
thinking, yeah, maybe 6 feet. It's so far down. Yeah, now that one I committed to.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
No, I feel like shit like that happens more often than not, and you just don't hear about it. So for you to literally be standing right there, like by the guitar player, and
yeah.
he's like, "Yo, watch this."
So we're like, oh, what are they gonna
Hold
do?
my water.
Well, now, when
Yeah.
they started out with bullets, like I said, every time I saw them before, they never started out with bullets. That was kind of a mid song they would play. So I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe they're just gonna go reverse hard to soft. Maybe play their well-known hits later instead of sooner like they used to.
Huh.
And then, like I said, we started watching the clock. We're like, okay, because at the time we were like, well, they saw this song, this song, and this song. They only got like 5.5 minutes. There's no way they're gonna cram all 5 songs. Next thing we don't know, they're doing another 20.
Were they playing like a lot of Creed songs too, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
And it was one of the few shows where I saw Scott, because there was usually a point in the show, Scott, I don't want to say he's preaching, but he's talking to the crowd. He's sharing his story, his love for his family, love for his band, how he still loves his boys and Creed. He didn't really did none of that this show. He did maybe a
was
little
pissed.
bit, but yeah, he was just more like, hey, we're going to play fucking almost every song we have in the discography and make these boys pay up.
And yeah.
So yeah, it was
Literally.
quite a
Yeah,
time.
no
And
shit.
I remember I've never seen so many cop cars outside that venue that night.
Wow.
Really?
Oh yeah, they were pissed. They were ready to sign the fine paper for them.
That's the softest motherfucking shit ever, too. By the way, That's so soft. Fucking
Noise complaints.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
trying to watch Jeopardy in my penny loafers.
Yeah.
It's fucking Scott Stapp.
yeah. Well, what?
It got to the point where I made sure, like, anytime I go through that neighborhood late at night, early in the morning, like I'm talking like 1 or 2 o'clock,
jamming.
Full
Jamming.
cranked, windows open, singing along.
I love
Like, I
making
hope
old
I
people
piss
think
someone
that
off.
I am the Antichrist. That's one of
Me
my
too.
favorite pastimes.
I get that. quite a
Anytime
bit.
that you drive by the courthouse here in town and there's like a church or a religious group out there like carrying signs around and shit, I'll find the most demonic ass fucking shit I have in my discography. Turn it on, turn it as fucking loud as it can get. Roll every fucking window down and like just eye contact. Like oh yeah, bro, fucking all kinds of shit. So yeah,
Nice.
it's my favorite thing in the world to do.
Fuck
Is
yeah.
to piss those kind of people off.
So about the noise complaints, what kind of pisses me off is the town here in town. They give us shit for doing the barnyard bash,
Really?
but like we cut it off like at a pretty decent time, and that's like the outskirts of town. But they'll have shit going on downtown that I can hear here at my house until 11 at night, and it's country,
That's why.
and nobody says a fucking word.
Yeah.
Well, it was the same thing in my town. Around that same time, we were having I can't remember what it was called, but it was basically a Christian jam festival, which is cool. Like to bring something like that to town.
Yeah.
But it's at the fairgrounds, which is right on, pretty close to my house, and I could hear that shit all day. Didn't mind me. I didn't bother. It's whatever. And like I said, it stuff like that too. When you get big enough shows and stuff, it generates a lot of tax revenue for the cities and shit.
Right?
Oh yeah.
So, because when we had our venue, I had friends coming from West Virginia, Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky, Southern Ohio, Eastern Ohio, to Findlay. Just, rent a hotel,
Yeah.
eat some good food, go to a show, have a good time.
Right.
It wasn't like they weren't getting people, and it wasn't like they weren't, the city was benefiting from it. So,
That's
it kind of
wild.
sucks.
So, not to divert too much, but I see your shirt that you have there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shout out Young Mosh.
Yeah.
That's good.
What is his first name?
Wesley.
Wesley. Last
Yeah.
name Mary?
Merritt, I think
if
it's how
I'm
it's
not
pronounced.
mistaken.
I'm not 100% sure.
So he was in the band, The World I Knew. Is that what it was?
So,
what
yes,
they were called?
The World I Knew.
Okay, out of Cincinnati.
Yes, it's Young Mosh is literally just the same. It's all them boys.
Is it really?
Yes.
Okay.
They, I believe, have a record contract on the label. It is ran by Zoltron from Five Finger Death Punch. Is that his name? Zoltan. And the album they're
Isn't that the one with the dreads?
yes. And the album that they're about to drop is produced by AJ Channing of Fire from the Gods.
Yeah.
Well,
Fire
you
from the
know what's
Gods. Yeah, I was
funny?
gonna say AJ's their front man.
Yeah.
So maybe you didn't realize this, but because I've been somewhat entrenched in the local music scene
Yeah.
for a few years, is I knew of The World I Knew, and I knew of Wesley as the face of that band because I had heard at the time when I got into the scene.
they were making some waves
they
when
were
you
making
first
some
started
waves.
in the band.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were making some waves, and I recognized his face because I think I had added him on Facebook or something.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember when Fire from the Gods played at the Norma Jean show, the guest vocalist that they had on?
Yeah.
That's him.
That's Young Mosh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Straight
I'll be
from
damned.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got on stage with them this year at Ink too.
Yeah, I did see
Did
those
Fire
videos.
play Incarceration
Yep,
too?
they played at Ink.
Nice.
I didn't go there this year.
AJ's a super cool dude. I don't know if you've ever met him, but super
I
cool guy.
plan on running into him at the ship this year. They
Yeah.
just got added recently.
He is a large human.
About
Very
6'5".
I can
large.
see that from the videos I've seen.
6'5", 6'6",
He makes the
240.
stage look small.
He is
I
Even when it's a
thought
big
Wesley
one.
He was
was
standing
pretty
in the
tall, but yeah.
crowd and was a foot taller than everybody
Yep.
in the crowd. I'm like,
Okay.
that is a large human being right
So he
there.
won't be hard to miss on the
No,
ship then.
no, you can't miss him.
All right.
We got into them years ago, man. Like when they were just starting to like.
I want to say I caught.
No, that's
I want to
No.
say they were.
was
Way
it
before
no,
that.
it was before that. Yeah.
I want to say they were at Rock and Range. The one year they did like the first half day before they went to 3 days. It was Saturday, Sunday, then like a half of Friday.
Uh-huh.
I want to say they were there and I caught them.
Do you know how Wesley got involved with him?
I am not 100% sure.
They're
I mean,
out of
regardless,
Texas.
good for him, but
I mean, to be
They're out of
100%
Texas,
honest,
but AJ's English.
Mm-hmm.
He's an English feller.
I know. I think Wesley might have met him when he was in Texas. He was a guest vocalist on the soundtrack for one of the Doom video games.
okay.
And I think maybe that's how they got in contact.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure. I know when The World I Knew played their last show in Cincinnati, I want to say it was 2020. He invited a bunch of us out to one of the band members' house, partied it up. I didn't so much. I was not in good shape that night.
Yeah.
But for a few years before that and after that, I've heard Wesley talk about like, oh, big things coming. And then at the house, we were down in the basement doing some stuff, and the band members were like, should
Black
we
tar
tell
heroin.
should we tell him? Should we tell him? And that's when he told us, like, yeah, little song from 5 Finger Death Punch. He's got his own little label coming out. He's going to be, signing us. We're signed to him. And AJ from Fire from the Gods is going to be producing it. All right, cool. And this kind of goes on a little bit. And I'm like, okay, maybe they're full of shit, to be completely honest. Like, maybe they're just pulling our leg. But finally, like, I start seeing, Wesley put up on his, like, TikTok and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
Him, like, intimately with Zoltan. They're at the studio with AJ, like, start seeing this stuff. And that's when I think the show you guys were talking about when he came on stage with them. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it was them, Norman Jean and Greyhaven.
Yep.
How dare I doubt them? They were being honest. I mean, I don't have a reason for them to
If I
not
remember
be
correctly,
honest.
dude's got pipes.
Oh,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
He can fucking scream.
Dude's got pipes.
I know. I remember the first few times we saw them live was at Ink and a few other local shows with Dread Engine. And the shit he always got was he looked like Ludacris.
Yeah, he does.
So when he started doing the
He
Young
did the rap
Mosh,
videos and the...
he did a Young Mosh TikTok, and that was like one of his first videos. Was he did a metal version of one of Luda's. I think it was
songs.
"Bitch Get Out the
man.
Way." I believe.
Yeah.
I love Luda.
He can fucking scream, man.
Love Luda.
So I know every once in a while I'll see like an advertisement for one of the Fast and Furious movies, and I'll have Ludacris in it. And I'll tag Wesley. I'm like, dude, they need to fucking get you, and you can be, Luda's
double.
character's long lost
Yeah.
twin who joins the family,
Who needs
You
family?
can face
You've
off
got
the rock
family.
and shit,
Family is
and
Maybe
forever.
for like the 18th movie.
Yeah,
you can,
maybe.
I think they're on like 16 now, so
something like that.
that
Yeah,
franchise should have died after the second one.
yeah.
I agree.
give that.
The turn
When it was still
I don't know.
about cars.
Tokyo Drift was like okay.
That wasn't even canon. That's not even part of the fucking universe.
I know, but it ended
But
up
it was
being-
about cars. That's
the one
thing.
Asian dude ended up involved.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's right. He
So
did.
it was kind of in the
Huh.
same
It was
One
universe.
white
It was-
guy
it
got
was
in
kinda-
there.
was it
He had a
Han?
couple cameos
Han?
later on.
But like Han, is that
Is
right?
that it?
Yeah,
I thought his
Han?
name was
Is that
Han
his
or
name?
something.
I don't
I
know.
believe it's H-A.
Yeah.
H-A. I don't know. I can't spell.
But when those movies stopped being about cars and they got so fucking extreme, I'm out.
Yeah, I think the
The
last
first
one
two
I
were
watched, they
amazing.
had
It was
a
about
fucking
cars.
spacecraft in the
Yeah.
outer space doing. Yeah,
They're fucking jumping cars out of airplanes that have rockets on. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? Like Star Wars
See,
has
and I was
already been
always
invented.
under the impression, I don't know why, but I thought someone explained to me years ago the first one was loosely based off a real story that happened out in California where these group of kids with hot rods were actually robbing trucks for electronics.
Yeah.
It was just loosely based on that. And for them to go from a loosely based story to
Fantasy.
complete fiction
Complete
or fantasy,
fiction.
it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, the first two were some of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah.
I'm a
I
big movie
recently
guy.
just watched the first 5 with the wife on a rainy day a while back, and that's about
5
as
of them
far as I
bitches
got.
in a day?
I wasn't there. It was like a weekend.
Okay.
It was our first weekend. We didn't have work. We didn't have a concert to go to. We didn't have a kid's birthday party or
Yeah.
a
And
relative.
you chose to watch.
Fast and Furious?
Yeah, I don't know why.
I feel like you could have
Nostalgic.
picked.
Oh, there's so much better stuff I could have watched. I
Yeah,
know.
you could have picked so many better things.
I mean, the first two were great. Don't
Oh,
get
yeah, for sure.
don't get it twisted. The first two are great, but to sit and watch,
Like,
think
you
the
could have
idea-
got through all the Harry Potter movies, man. Like,
Yeah.
no, those are great.
I never watched them.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Never got into
That-
Extended cuts. You could.
I'm not a big Lord of the Rings fan.
Oh,
I'm gonna
I'm
be real with you.
fucking
I tried.
I'm a
tried.
Star Wars guy.
I can fuck with Star Wars and I can fuck with Star Trek. Let's go.
Nah, I don't fuck with. That's way too nerdy.
What?
That's
Oh fuck!
How you gonna?
what is cool about Star Trek.
Stay in Jesse.
Look, I don't understand why people think that
Little two in the
like
pink, two in
Star
the brown
Trek
action,
is
you know?
lame, but Star Wars is cool, and then vice versa. It's like it's just
Lightsabers, whatever the fuck
Teleporting.
Star Trek's doing.
Teleporting.
it's just like
Beat me up,
futuristic.
Scotty.
It's just futuristic.
I'm fucking clueless. I'm baffled, Jeffy.
What?
It's off the ringer.
He quotes that shit every fucking
Does,
podcast,
bro. He's a big
Was it-
ringer guy.
The ringer. Johnny Knoxville.
Oh,
wearing
yeah.
extra retarded.
When the fuck did we get ice cream?
When the fuck did we get ice cream?
Oh.
Can I get that ice cream now? What's your
Did you
favorite
get ice
movie?
cream?
Listen, I know we talk about
favorite
music all the
movie?
time, and I feel like
Fuck.
we don't have to talk about music all the time. So I'm curious. You seem like a movie guy. What's your favorite movie?
Well, my brother would probably be the more movie guy. We used to call when me and him had an apartment together. We used to nickname it the movie gallery. I mean, we had a whole wall,
Hell yeah.
18 feet, just DVDs.
Yeah.
Shit.
Just some of your favorites. You don't have to give me one.
Well, I'm a big fan of comedies. I loved all 3 Hangovers. I thought that shit was
Oh,
hilarious.
they were so good.
I got the first
I
time I
haven't
took a
watched it.
trip out of state to a show, which wasn't a concert, was Zach Galifianakis stand-up comedy in Detroit. Good time. So when Hangover
Fucking
came out,
imagine.
that was good shit.
Did he wear the little backpack?
Did he have a
Satchel.
baby?
No baby that I saw.
I have never seen The Hangover.
Oh, okay. Well,
No,
good
I've never
stuff.
seen it.
I love,
Dude.
like I said, I love comedies, and the more fucked up they are, the better.
I'm not a big comedy guy, I guess. Like the only comedies that I really liked was like the really dumb ones, like Wedding Crashers, Old
Oh.
School, Step Brothers,
yes.
Anchorman.
Anchorman, yeah, anything
Anchorman.
with Will
Semi-pro.
Ferrell, anything
Semi-pro.
Semi-pro's
I'm
great.
trying to
Hey, there's a
When he's
recommendation
cussing
I'm
out
gonna
the
give you.
ref.
I'm gonna give you a recommendation on Netflix. No Hard Feelings. It's new, and it
Okay.
was fucking hysterical.
Who's in that one?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh.
Oh
somebody
yeah, I
else
seen the previous.
somebody
Like
else
where
is
she
in
goes to
that
the convenience
too.
store. The guy's like has his wiener dog. She's like, "Can I touch your wiener?" Or
Yeah.
something like that. All right, and then like I think I seen another scene where like she gets pepper sprayed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
It's
I've
way
seen
funnier.
the previews.
It's one of those things where it's like nowadays there's so many movies where they put like the really funny parts in the trailer and the rest of the
And
movie
ruin
is
it.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But like this one, like some of the funniest shit was not in the trailers.
great.
Those any of the old Vince Vaughn movies. Owen Wilson.
Oh.
Look at her standing there, watching, looking, judging. Look at the baby.
Do you
look at
guys
the
ever
baby.
watch Van Wilder?
Yeah.
Yes. Zoolander.
So, so I have a lady I work with.
Not the one that ratted on you, right?
No,
Bitch.
different
Fuck
lady.
that bitch.
Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch.
I don't even know. I don't even know if she's alive. We probably should be talking about her. She was kind of old.
Damn.
She got into black tar hair. Or what?
Shout out
that dead
bitch. But no, I'll find reasons to show this lady I work with. She's older. I'll try to show her fuck up scenes, and for some reason, me and another worker brought up something about food. I'm like, oh my god, I think I've had this before. Oh, it's so hot and creamy. And she didn't know what we were referencing. Oh, I got to show you this, and she's just appalled. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Those guys just
Like those old, like super Midwestern moms. Oh no, I don't like that at all. No. Mm.
Nah, she's got a good sense of humor. She
Yeah,
usually.
fuck
If you want to, bro.
her. Yeah, no, wait a minute.
What did I just agree to?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been a huge comedy. My favorite movie of all time was made in 1939. So, I mean, I'm not.
Gone with the wind.
So usually
Correct.
when I get asked
Yeah, I
that
can't
question,
believe you knew that. Did you just guess?
I just know you're
You-
a movie buff.
yeah.
and
You
I
mentioned
remember
it recently.
I love Gone with
referring
the
that
Wind.
movie.
And everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's 5 hours long." I'm like, "Well, first off, it's a 2-part movie, so it's actually split into 2 acts, and you can watch them separately." And when I was a kid, they used to play that on a loop, like every, you know how they do like A Christmas Story back to back
Yeah.
on Christmas. on Thanksgiving, they used to, I can't remember what station it was, but they used to play Gone with the Wind back to back, and I would sit there and watch
I
the
remember
movie
that. I
as a
just
kid.
never
loved
watched
that
it.
movie. I'm just a history guy, so like any
usually
kind of
when someone asks me what my favorite movie, I always try to stay away from popular stuff. That's just who I am. I usually try to stay away from the superhero movies, but
some of them are good.
the early 2000 version of The Punisher.
Oh, that shit
That's
was
a great.
awesome.
That was a really
first-
good movie.
that was one of the-
2003, I feel like that
Yeah.
movie was.
It was one of the first movies that I think everyone in my family we watched and we actually enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I call my penis.
And, and it was kind of more on the edgier stuff that my parents would normally let me watch.
What's your wife call your penis though?
Not that.
That's what I
You
figured.
know, also,
The disappointer.
The soundtrack. The soundtrack of the movie was bomb.
Oh yeah.
A lot of Jerry Cantrell and Damage Plan. So you had the Vinnie Paul and Dimebag on there.
Yep.
So that's what introduced me to Damage Plan, which also introduced me to Pantera.
Which is
And
Spanish for panther.
It is. It was named after a car. I believe.
It is named after a car.
I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Ferrari, was it?
No, it was
God, who
Pantera.
was it?
I think was just the car.
Oh, I
but
thought that was the
Vinnie
model.
Paul had like a high school buddy that gave him the name, the idea for that name, and
And originally they wanted to be more like a
hair metal band.
Yeah,
they were a
Van
hair
Halen.
metal band
Yeah.
originally. Yeah.
And then they got mad as fuck.
Then they got pissed.
Yeah.
They became grindcore.
Well, that's like a lot of people don't know. AC/DC, when they originally come out, they were supposed to be like the next Beach Boys. It was their plan.
No way.
Their
That's about right. That's what their music
Malcolm
sounds
and
like.
Angus, their older brother George, who helped produce most of their albums, was in like a Australian version Beach Boys, and they wanted to do something like it, but a little bit better.
Oh no, was it just Brian Johnson that was from Scotland?
Yeah.
I'm a
But,
Bon Scott guy. I'm a Bon Scott AC/DC guy.
But going
Yep.
on, I had this conversation with one of my friends last week, going to Pantera and whatnot. One of my first concerts that I was supposed to go to.
Concerts. I love it, dude.
Sorry, bro.
No, I love it.
Don't apologize to that.
Hell no.
One of my first
Some of
concerts
my favorite people I've
was
met in
supposed to
Northern
be the show that Dimebag died at.
Oh
that was,
shit!
That was supposed to be
At
one
the
of my first
Alrosa?
shows.
Wow.
And we were discussing last week. I'm like, I don't know if I went to that show, if I'd be able to go 207, concerts after seeing all that shit go down.
Nickelback wrote a song about that.
Yeah, they sure did. A lot of people don't know that.
It's a jam too.
Oh, I love it.
What's
The
the
fucking
song name?
Side of a Bullet.
Side of a Bullet. Yep.
Yeah, it's a jam. It's an absolute fucking jam.
You know what?
But the lyrics are so dark. You're like, wow, this shit hits.
It's just I feel so uncultured because like even though I know of that whole story, like I never felt like I was a part of it or involved in it or really knew of it.
Yeah.
I've just
That's a
only
fucked up
heard
deal,
of it
bro.
over the years.
Horrible.
But
Well,
it's right up the
the
road,
best
45
part.
minutes.
The best part of
We
it was
were
that
really
motherfucker got
fucking
shot in
young.
the face
I
with a
know,
12
but
gauge.
looking back on it, I'm like, man, I wish I was a little bit older to know, or you know what I mean?
He killed like 3 people that day, didn't he? 3 or 4.
I believe the guy who shot Dimebag ended up shotting a roadie for the band who was trying to, I guess this is a situation, or take out the guy, then got hit. He got killed
Oh, he
too.
got blown the fuck
And
away.
that's when the
Columbus
cop-
PD.
Columbus PD came in through the back and blew that guy in the back of the head.
Yep. I mean, just blew his fucking
So, and
Pink
from my
Mist,
understanding, everyone was
Wow.
there. No one tried to go forward. No one tried to go backwards.
And that cop had to make a hell of a shot because there's people all over the place. He one tapped that motherfucker.
Ooh, I can't
with a
imagine.
12 gauge. Double up.
And last
buck,
I
baby.
read it,
Kaboom.
I mean, he's since then retired, but still going to therapy over all that.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what he signed up to do, was to
Shoot people in the back.
go
of
in the
head.
back. Yeah, sneak through the back, door to.
He didn't even hesitate though. He, I mean,
Oh,
just
no.
let him up. Done. Which that was back in 2005.
Yeah, 2004, 2005. I was still in high school. I
Ain't
remember
that long
that.
ago. Fuck.
It's longer than you think.
I know, but
Because I was saying, it was shortly after that movie came out, because it was when him and Vinny were both in Damage Plan. They were the headliner.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. And Vinny was there, wasn't
yeah.
he? I mean, Vinny
he
watched his
it
brother
all,
get
yeah.
shot. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it was awful. Jesus. Well, Theron, I want to thank you for coming on, man, and coming,
yeah, sure.
driving 2 hours to come down here, being
yeah.
such a long-time supporter of the show.
Yeah.
And the band.
And
as
the
well.
band,
Thank
yeah,
you.
the band
Thank you.
obviously longer than the show. So, I just thank you so much for the time and the support. You've been one of the guys that's been with the show from the very beginning, and I, from the bottom of my heart, want to thank you for that. Always sharing our stuff and promoting and all that, and that's all we could ever ask for our listeners. So, or ask out of our listeners. So, again, want to thank Theron for that. Thank you to all of our listeners for tuning in every week, and thank you to all of our Patreon subscribers. As always, if you're interested in binging all of our content, please hop over on the Patreon. Click the link in any of our bios. You'll find the link to our Patreon, or just search The Screaming Idiot Show. $5 a month, instant access to everything all at once. Binge away. Follow all of our social medias at TSIS Podcast. Follow Screaming Evidence. I would say follow Rowdy Roadies, but I don't know if that page is going to stay up or not.
It'd probably stay up because it has a lot of pictures and videos and stuff
Yeah.
I want to keep in contact with.
Well, good. We'll hop
But
on.
Facebook won't even let me share shit to it half the time anyway, so
Okay. Well, fair
it's
enough.
all good.
Fair enough. But
And
anyways.
if you comment on anything on it, I don't get it until like 2 months later anyway, so
Oh, goodness.
Oh, geez. Social media can be a bitch.
Sure
But
is.
anyways, again, thank you to each and every one of you. We appreciate you. We love you. And until next time, we are the Screaming Idiots. We'll see you next week.
Peace, love, dove.